Good morning, everyone. I believe that you had a wonderful weekend and you are excited to talk about another interesting and challenging topic today. Before we begin today's topic, it is better to recall what we discussed the previous week in our teacher training program. If you remember correctly, we talked about using mobile apps in the ESL classroom and lesson design. We also developed needs analysis tools to identify learners' needs and also discussed how to use them in the classroom context. Did you have any questions about what we discussed in our previous class? If so, please do ask. I would be very happy to attempt your questions. Good. Sania, what was your question? That was an excellent question, Sania. How often do you use technology in your class? Most of the times, right? When you are looking at your objectives, think about the best way to achieve them. Further, you also think about exploring and experimenting with different mobile apps to create interest among the students to achieve the objectives. Alright, any other questions please? No? Okay, let's get into today's topic. As I mentioned before, today we are going to focus on something interesting and also challenging topic for teachers to demonstrate and difficult for students to understand, that is listening and speaking skills. Very often students complain about how boring it is to listen to the same teachers or participate in the activities. And also teachers grumble about how hard it is to get their students engaged in listening and motivate them to participate in speaking activities. So, today let us discuss what are some of those challenges and concerns that you have with teaching listening and speaking skills. Okay, dear students, count numbers from 1 to 5. All the students, those who have said number 1, can join together and sit in a circle. Same with other numbers too. All together there will be around 5 groups. Ritvik, you go and join in group number 3. That looks good. Now, please discuss with members of your group for 15 minutes about the practical concerns and challenges that you have with teaching listening and speaking skills. Students, stop discussion as time is over. So far, we have discussed some of the important challenges and concerns of the teaching, listening and speaking skills. Now, let's focus on how we can overcome all these challenges. As you are well aware, we have been discussing how we can use and apply mobile apps in the language classroom to encourage students, make them involved in activities and to break the monotony. For this reason, we are going to experiment some interesting, user-friendly and latest mobile apps today. I would expect all of you to note down all the important points and its features while using them. Write down your observations about how these mobile apps break the monotony and create interest among the learners. What are the students' roles and what is the teacher's role? Great. So do you have any questions before we start? Yes, Sunaina. What was your question? Yes, you are correct. You are going to use these notes of compare and contrast traditional classroom teaching to modern classroom teaching. Hence, you can just take notes. Indeed, that was an excellent question. Do you have any more questions? Alright. Let's watch the video on using mobile apps in the language classroom, which is about 7 minutes long. Please prepare notes. Later, we'll talk about it. Alright, everybody. So far we have watched the video. Now let's talk about it. But before we talk about it as a class, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to compare your notes with the person who is sitting next to you and discuss what you have observed while watching the video about using mobile apps in the classroom context. Okay, you have just 3 minutes to discuss with your partner. Ready, set, go. That was a great observation, Vinod. So, what about on the other side of our chart? Traditional classroom teaching, how does it sound? Sunaina, what is your opinion on this? Fine. That's great. So, Sunaina is right. In a traditional classroom teaching, the students might not be working together at all and also not using mobile apps or technological tools. Students would be simply sitting and acting as passive listeners and only focusing on teacher's lecture. They wouldn't be interacting with one another. Okay, so let's write that down. Those were the great ideas up to now. What else did you observe? Yes, Azad, you are right. Yeah, that's right. In the video, we saw the importance of using mobile apps in the classroom to create interest among the students, to engage them effectively, and to break the monotony to improve the language skills. Students had that freedom to learn and improve listening and speaking skills through mobile apps with a lot of enthusiasm. Engaging students with the latest technological tools and mobile apps will enhance their language skills. Let's add that to our chart. Alright, so what about the traditional classroom teaching? How is that different from modern classroom teaching? Sony, yes, what do you say? That was a good point. Let me add that to our chart. Well, so just as Sony said, normally the teacher takes the lead role and makes all the choices in a traditional classroom. When students don't get enough freedom to speak and share their ideas, they aren't as motivated. That's why it is always a great idea to provide opportunities to exchange their views and make them involved in the discussions by giving them the freedom to make choices about what and how they want to listen and speak. That's all for today. Take care and stay safe. Bye for now.